Two things I can think of. I mean, there's many, but it would be who he is as a person, and obviously the skill set that he brings along with his talents and all that. So I knew that he's a guy you could build a team around. That production-wise was going to go out there and give you everything you needed, throwing the football, running an offense, leading a football team. But then as a person, he's a guy that you're willing and never going to question having out front and center in moments like this, out in the community, anything. He's just going to speak well. He's going to know what to say and how it always brings our team closer together. So, what was the last part of your question?
How has he kind of driven that business-like ethos that you mentioned?
Yeah, I think the entire year, starting a year ago, he made a decision to come back. I think a lot of people thought he was going to move on and go on to the NFL. He made the decision to come back. That showed a lot of people how serious he was, mostly our team, about winning a championship and doing something well above and beyond what we did a year ago, and also believing that it could happen. And the work he's put in supports those goals and aspirations that he's had for over a year now. And the last month, I just feel like he's been on another level. Just nothing is sliding by him for sure, but nothing sliding by our offense, our football team. When we talk about being grounded as a football team, he's one of the guys that's leading the charge as much as anyone.
Pick just one thing that was the most important factor in Michael taking his game to another level this year. What would it be?
He's never going to have any regrets, and so no regrets when it comes to leadership and wishing he would have said something and not said it. No regrets when it comes to putting an extra hour of routes in this summer, knowing that it's going to pay off at some point in the year in a big throw, in a big moment. I think him having perspective on all of this and not having regrets with how he handles people, the different moments that come about. I know that's a bigger picture thing when I say no regrets, but it hits all the areas. And just being all in, 100 miles an hour, he's just really been able to balance all of the things that are expected of him as a leader of a top now 2 team in the program, with what his focus and goals are of winning a championship and being the best he can be.
You had Michael in 19 when he came back in the picture in 22, I guess. Did you have a sense for his angst and everything he'd been through injury-wise when he almost gave up the game? Did you guys have a conversation about that?
I think there's been a story or two that I learned after he's been here. Probably more so just about the pain that he felt inside, when he was going through all these moments. I knew it was really hard for him. It would be hard for everyone, right? But he had been through so much. I also know that when he came on his official visit in December, it was straight business. There was it didn't matter. We could have taken him to nowhere, and honestly, we didn't do much with him, He was focused on watching the film of the receivers, whether it be huddle film from 2 or 3 years ago or film from the season before. He was focused on who the offensive linemen were that were going to be protecting him. And I think there was even some focus on the whole team because, yes, he wanted to have that individual success. He wanted to know that he had people around him to be able to throw the ball to and protect him, but he also wanted to win. And I think that was a piece that was out there. He wanted to win on another level that he hadn't experienced. And so it was a pure business trip for him coming out there. But, yeah, there's been a lot of stories that have come out that certainly show all the pain and the tough times that he went through.